Okay, my goal is to install TV outlet somewhere here from this outlet. And this is just an example. I'm gonna be actually working somewhere else, but this was the concept. So outlet is here, stud is here, and every foot you have a stud. So I like to use stud finder and then define where my stud is and just tape it. And as soon as I hit a next stud, I like to hit another tape. So the goal is with minimal cutting and with minimal damage to install an outlet up here. So I also like to tape it like this. And what we're gonna need. So we're gonna need definitely copper wire, fish tape, utility knife, wire stripper, safety glasses, voltage tester, some wire nuts, screwdriver, drywall, basically saw, electrical tape, stud finder, electrical box that we're gonna mount the outlet. We might need a needle nose, and we might need this tester as well. And of course, I'm using masking tape right here. So number one, we're gonna define where we want the outlet to be installed, right? So once we define it, I'm gonna basically put this electrical box, which will be mounted here, which will be sitting against the drywall with these legs right here. As you tighten them, it will just basically suck in and it will be just mounted inside of the wall, drywall. But to cut it, you have to make sure that you don't cut it too big. You have to basically put it against the wall. Make sure you put a level as well. You're gonna need a level. So in my case, yeah, I don't have a helper to film it, but anyhow, I just put it, I draw around it. Since I don't have anyone filming this, basically draw it around just like this. And I like to use a masking tape in case I have to move it, so I don't make any drawing on the wall, drywall, and then deal with it. And I'll just cut it there. So once I make a hole, I know electrical box here could be something like this, or it could be metal box like this, or you just have a knockout like that. And sometimes you have a knockout, two knockouts like this. This is probably more of a commercial setup, but my goal is to get the power from here to there, right? So, and you have a typical situation where you might have two wires coming in from here, or just one wire coming in, and where you have an outlet installed on two wires, or maybe four wires like this, where it's just coming in and out. So in that case, we have to get basically fish tape through this box. So the goal is to basically go up through here all the way into the wall and drop, basically fish it into the electrical box. So that's the goal. If your electrical box is way on the right or left, if you have to go through the studs, you have to make a basically cut where you will be drilling through the stud to make a hole and then fish the wire through that hole. So in my case, I had to do it once, but in your case, if you're just installing a TV right above this outlet, it might be very straightforward. All right, here's the case in my situation where I basically went with the fish tape all the way up, where I had a little hole where the stud was, and I had to go through one stud. So my outlet is a little bit more than 1.5 feet or so. And make sure that stud where you're gonna make a hole has nothing attached to it from either side, because when you just cut out that chunk of the drywall, you will basically go with your fingers, hands, and see there's nothing in it. Especially when there's full of insulation, make sure it's empty. And you can see what I did here. So I basically fished the wire down and then threw that one stud into that electrical box for the TV. Installed the electrical outlet, and if you want this outlet plate to sit against the flash against the wall, you have to just cut out those ears of the outlet, or just make sure it's just a little bit tighter screwed so it just sits flash against the wall. And in many cases, people just it's people are lucky that they have to install the outlet straight up on the same stud above this outlet, wherever they're getting outlets, wherever they're getting the power for the outlet. But if you have to go through multiple studs, you got to be very, very careful, because those studs will have wires. So in my case, you can see a lot going on. I decided to hook up the wires into the outlet side, basically screws, which is totally fine. You can backstab it as well, but I prefer to screw it on side terminals. So I'm going to pull out the existing wires and just side mount them as well. And the only thing I had to pigtail here was just the ground wire. I just removed that connector and basically put all the grounds together, tightened that, and then just install that outlet back where it was. And make sure that the wires are very organized as well when you put it in. And unfortunately, I couldn't show you like details of the fishing step, or this is, I think, for a lot of people, challenging moment. But all you need is just a fish tape, and it's gonna take some time for you to be able to get the fish tape all the way up there and just pull the wire down into the box. So that's the most difficult part for many people, but it should be very straightforward if you don't have anything inside the wall and it's just the interior wall. In my case, I had full of insulation. It was a little bit of challenging. That's why I even forgot to film that part, because it's an exterior wall. But that's the very, very simple TV outlet installation. I hope it's helpful for somebody. If you have questions, put them down below in the comment. I will try to answer as much as I can, or send me photos. I'll be happy to take a look at your case as well. Thank you.